block can be flat because you're gonna put your heels on it. And then you're gonna lay down again. Now, with your heels on it, first we're gonna focus on your posture. That means your shoulders are gonna be pulled away from your ears. Your shoulder blades are gonna be pinched just slightly because we wanna open up that chest just like you did on top of the block. So kind of pretend like that block is still under your back and think of those shoulders being pulled back and that chest lifted towards the ceiling so it's nice and open. Now the next phase here is to keep those shoulders away from your ears. Take your belly button, and when you take a deep breath, exhale and slowly press the belly button into the floor. So you may have had a gap between your back and the floor, but now you don't. You're pressing the belly button down, pushing it into the floor. So now as we release that and let that little gap come back, we're gonna slowly push the heels into the block and lift our hips up for a bridge. So when you do that, we're beginning with the tailbone, lifting up, legs can stay together. Don't worry how high you get. Just get to what's comfortable. Now your feet can be on the block, the heels only can be on the block. It's up to you. So now bring it down slowly. And again, everything will loosen and you'll get higher as we continue. But now that you know what we're doing, we're gonna take that lift, and this time as you come up, you're exhaling, push the heels a little extra into the block. So as you push those heels a little extra into the block, feel the hamstrings, that's behind the knee and up to the thigh. Feel those muscles engaging. Then bring it down nice and slowly. Starting from that upper back, we push one vertebrae at a time. Now we're gonna add some components to this. So we're still thinking of pressing the heels, but also gonna focus on a few other things. So inhale, exhale, press up, squeeze your knees together as you push the heels into the block, and then squeeze your butt cheeks when you get to the top. Hold back side, nice and firm, and then lower slowly. We're activating these muscles so that when we get to stretch them, they'll be warm and wonderful. So this time, take a deep breath. As we exhale up, we've got the hamstrings, we've got squeezing the knees, got the glutes. Now we're gonna push your hips as high as you can. Try to feel some stretch in the front of the hips and squeeze your butt cheeks together at the same time to release those hips. And then we can lower slowly. Now hopefully your strap is close by, because we're gonna grab that strap next. You can either loop it so that it has that little noose thing around your foot, or you can put it on either side. Whichever way you like, but we're gonna start without a stretch. So that means that that one foot can stay on the block, or you can put it on the floor. The leg that's in the air, you're just holding there comfortably. Now as you take your next deep breath, exhale and very gently press your lower back to the floor. So you're not trying to force it with all your might, you're just getting a little bit of awareness and control. The leg that's in the air, we're just gonna move the toe towards your face and then away from you. So you're just flexing the ankle. Don't worry about trying to flex any muscles, just move that ankle back and forth. So you're just moving through the ankle, you're not trying to point, squeeze, or do anything other than just rotate that joint. But then we're going to take this ankle and we're going to take it side to side. So just side to side with the ankle. And if you feel completely uncoordinated when it's doing this, that's perfectly normal. Just something about that side to side with the ankle that just doesn't work right. But from here now, we're gonna relax. We should be ready to go. We're gonna lower that leg slowly towards the floor. You're gonna get halfway down to where that leg is about at the opposite knee. And then take a deep breath. And as you exhale, we're pulling that leg back towards your face. You're gonna walk your hands up your strap until you can get as far as you can, and then you're gonna slowly lower that strap. So very slowly until you get back down to that half knee or half point. And then inhale, exhale, walk your hands right on up that strap. So basically you get to your peak and then we start to lower it immediately. So nice and slowly on the way down. So each time you might get a little higher. So we inhale, exhale, walk it up. Going to a point where you feel it but not pain, and then immediately going downward. Very, very slowly. And then we have one more. So inhale, exhale up, walk those arms up, walk the hands up. Get it to where you can, and then back off just a little bit. We want to have a stretch that is comfortable to hold, but also feels like it's your limit. So let's remember the rules of stretching. Number one is if it doesn't feel right, don't do it, do something else, or modify it. Number two is don't strain. You want to feel the stretch, but if you're straining, if it's hard to breathe, if you feel like you're having pain, painfulness in that muscle, you're actually tightening it, and that is counterproductive. So catch yourself, more is not better. But sometimes we have to hold it for a long time too, so it can be a little uncomfortable, but as long as it's not straining. Now what we're going to do with this leg, since it's in that nice spot, you're going to look where your toe is. Use the tiles on the ceiling as a marker for where your range of motion is right now. And then we're going to take a deep breath, and as we exhale, let that leg slowly fall out to the side. Extra slowly in case you're close to someone so you don't hit them. Now again, the opposite leg can be on the block or the floor, whatever feels better for you. We're trying to keep both hips to the ceiling. And as that leg goes out to the side, if it kind of drifts down towards the other foot, that's okay. I want you to think of your legs as a clock right now. So your leg is either at 3 o'clock or 9 o'clock, and then it might be either at 5 o'clock or something o'clock. But depending on which side of your body your leg is, you kind of use that as a frame of reference to know that if you're starting, say, at like 5 o'clock, our goal is to get to 3 o'clock. So when I say take a deep breath, exhale, and move that leg a little upward, I'm talking like the hands on the clock. So not up towards the ceiling, but up towards the back of the room or up towards your head. And it's going to be small. Put the opposite arm out to the side so your body stays down. And all you're doing here is using your breath to let that leg relax. The arm holding your strap should not be super tense either. Now we're going to take the heel, we're going to bring it in towards your butt. So you're just bending your knee, and then you're going to straighten it again out to the side. And then you're going to do that again. Bend the knee, bringing the heel in towards you, and then out to the side. And then hold right there. Take a deep breath. As you exhale, relax that leg. Now take your heel and push it away from you. So it's not pulling the toes back, it's physically taking that heel and pushing it away. You should tense, or I should say activate the muscles of that inner thigh. So as that heel pushes away from you, you feel the inner thigh muscles, maybe the hamstring muscles too. And then we relax, we bring that heel back in and out one more time. We let it relax again in that straight position, then take a deep breath. And as we exhale, we're going to bring that leg gently up to the top again. So we're coming right back, foot to the ceiling. It's not going to be in that same position we began. So we're going to take a deep breath. As you exhale, we'll gently pull that foot back. So now we have that leg pointing to the ceiling, heel is to the ceiling. Should be a little further than when we left it. Kind of magic. From here, we're going to bend the knee and straighten. Just like we did to the side, we're going to do straight up. So bend and straighten, pull back gently. Then bend the knee, straighten the leg, you can pull that strap back a little bit, you'll find your range of motion increases. On this one, we're gonna hold that leg in the air. You're gonna push that heel to the ceiling. So as you do that, you're activating the muscles in the hamstrings, maybe the calves. So everything on the back side of that leg you should be feeling right now. So relax, bend the knee, straighten that leg, take a deep breath, and as you exhale, see if that leg can move back a little bit more without any strain. And just hold. Use your deep breaths in through the nose, out through the mouth to help you hold that. And then we're going to take this leg and we're going to let it fall across your body. Now if your foot's still on the block, you might want to take the foot off the block for this one. But go ahead and pull that leg to its maximum and then slowly cross it over your body. The other leg will straighten on the floor. Your other arm, or the same arm, the same side is going to go out to the side. So we're still trying to keep the shoulders down as that leg goes across your body. And remember, it might not go exactly straight. If it's very tight, it'll kind of drift down into that, what is it, 6 o'clock, 4 o'clock position? No, not 6 o'clock. I can't think of it without the clock. But you get it, yeah. So as we hold it, we kind of let it go where it wants to, but we are still aware of the fact that maybe it can go a little bit more towards the head, increase the range of motion a little bit. So just little teeny millimeters to see if it can, and if it can't, it's going to tell you. It's going to feel like it's straining and you back off. Opposite shoulder stays on the ground. Now from here, we're going to bend that knee and we're actually going to go back onto your back side and bring that leg straight up to that hamstring stretch again. So now that leg is up to the ceiling. We take the deep breath, we pull it back. Now I don't know about you, but my toe was at one tile, now it's completely at the next tile on the ceiling. So you should have increased your range of motion a little bit or a lot, but it's definitely going to be different and easier to hold. So you can bring that knee to the chest. Just relax that leg gently. Pull your knee into your chest, either grabbing your shin or grabbing underneath your knee. And then we're going to bring that leg up, take that strap off, and switch to the other side. Now you know what? I'm going to tell you right now, I'm pretty sure we all did the same thing. We started with our easy side, didn't we?
Yes.
I was supposed to remind you to remind me to remind you, wasn't I? Yeah, you know, we automatically go to the side. We should know this by, I mean, I should be able to remember, but it's always after the fact. When we're given a choice, we're always going to go the path of least resistance, so your body's always going to take the leg that's the easier one. So that's where we have to use our brain to stop ourselves and say, no, let's use the harder one. All right, well, that's past, so let's get to work. This, we start first with the ankle, forward and back. And hey, if you're not that far off on either leg, that's actually great. So back and forth with the ankle, just loosening that through. And I don't think I have to say it, but I will. So it's the ankle that's moving. You're just kind of holding on to the strap. You're not pulling the ankle with the strap. Okay, now we're going to take that ankle side to side. And this being the not so great leg on most of us, that's going to be a really weird movement. But just like your neck, think about your ankle and everything that it's holding up, and how much attention we give to it, which is like none. So as we hold that steady there, we take a deep breath, exhale, we're gonna pull that leg back. Once it gets to that maximum, you'll know what that is. That's where you start to feel like you can't go further. Lower it halfway. So this is our active stretch. We're gonna lower it halfway. We're gonna walk the hands all the way up the strap, pulling that leg back to wherever you can. And as soon as you hit that max, you start to lower it slowly. And then we bring it back up. So if you were standing, we would be doing leg swings right now. So pulling it back and then slowly lowering. We'll get that one more time. So keep pulling it on back in. This time, hold it. Hold it to where it's comfortable. Again, should already be a lot better than you started. So as we hold it, we breathe. We make sure that our arms are not too tense because they're just guiding and holding the strap. They're not pulling the leg. Now as we bring this leg out to the side, the opposite arm goes out to keep those shoulders down. This might be a little tighter too. So just let gravity take your leg out to the side. Let it do its thing. And if that leg has to go a little bit lower, that's fine. If you need to support your leg with a block, you can do that too. Most of what we're doing is just trying to let it sink down towards the floor. Without kicking our neighbors, yeah. My bad, I should have said everybody the same side. I was giving you choices. All right, so this time as we bend that knee inward, so we bend that leg and then straighten the leg again. We try not to kick our friends if our range of motion increases, because it probably will. So bend that knee, straighten that leg, and think about it going closer to the top of the clock. And then bend. And then this time when we straighten, we're going to take that heel, you're going to push it away from you. So push that heel away, feel the inner thighs, or the inner thigh on that side. And since this is the tight one, let's go ahead and bend that knee and push it out one more time. So we're gonna push that heel away from you, feel that inner thigh activate, basically telling it's gonna get ready to do some more. Take a deep breath, let it relax, and see if it goes up any more towards the top of the clock. If it doesn't, do not force it. So now you're gonna tighten your stomach and we're gonna bring that leg back up. Sometimes we need a little more support with this one. Once it gets back up to the ceiling, we're gonna gently use the strap to maybe pull it back a little bit to kind of guide it into its maximum spot that's comfortable. So we're holding, and now we're taking it across the body to the other side. Opposite arm goes out, bottom leg can straighten. And that leg goes across the body. Now your goal here, if this leg is very tight, is to keep the opposite shoulder down and to breathe. In through the nose, out through the mouth. It may not feel like it's stretching if it's very tight right now, but it is. Just try to let it relax. And of course, thinking of that leg as a hand on the clock. If it pulls up towards the top, that's great. If it doesn't, just staying there alone will stretch it. And if you're really a glutton for punishment, you can take that heel and push it away. But if you are sufficient with the way it feels now, you don't have to do that. So as we take our next deep breath in, you're gonna pull that belly button in and bring that leg back up to the top. So it's gonna come back, and then we're gonna use that strap to guide it back to where it should be. Which should be an increased range of motion, maybe not as great as the other side, but still an improvement. And you can still breathe, remember, not pulling on the strap, just using it to hold. And then we get to take that leg, bring the ankle down, and gently pull the knee into the chest, grabbing either on your shin or underneath the thigh. And while that foot is there, we're going to go ahead and take the strap off. Set that strap to the side. And with your feet flat on the floor, we're going to take your lower back again and just press it down. So we get that pelvic tilt, pushing your tailbone to the ceiling, pushing your lower abdominals and your belly button to the floor. And then release. And then take a deep breath in. Exhale, press that lower back through the floor, starting from that belly button and lower abs down. And then as we release and come back to neutral, you're going to find your block. You can use your feet because it's probably still somewhere near there. Once you find your block, you're going to just put it in the air so you can take it into your hands. So you just use your feet to give the block to your hands. You know you're that talented, right? Or if your arms are long, you can grab the block. So what we're going to do is take that block and the shortest way possible, where it's the short side, put it between the thighs. So you just have something small between the thighs. And from here, we're going to just gently press into the block and then release. So it's not much difference. We're holding it firmly, but we're going to gently press our legs together and release. Now, we're going to hold that for a moment because I want you to go back to your upper body. And I want to make sure that those shoulders are pulled down away from your head, that they are pulled back onto the floor. Your chest is open. Hands should face the ceiling since you're pinching the shoulder blades a little bit. So as we take a breath in, you're going to draw the belly button inward, and we're going to let your legs just fall to one side. Yes, with the block in between. They're not going to go all the way flat, that's okay. We have a plan here. So take them to the other side, just rotating right past through the middle. This is our windshield wipers. Then we're going to come up to the top. We're going to change that, but if this next one is too much, you go back to that one that we just did. We're going to bring those legs tabletop. That means we bring them in the air at 90 degrees. We're going to press that lower belly button and lower back into the floor. Tailbone goes up a little bit, and we windshield wiper here. So the legs rotate to one side. Shoulders stay down. Again, if this is too much, you just put the legs back on the floor. You use your breath, and then we inhale, exhale, bring it back up slowly. Engage your abdominals, press your back into the floor as soon as you can, and then take it to the other side. So by using the abdominals, we're going to actually make it easier, but we're also going to strengthen the abdominals at the same time. So now we're rotating to the other side, just holding, focusing on that breath. This time as we inhale, we exhale to tighten the abdominals and bring those legs back to the center. And then we're going to hold right there in the center. And from here, we're going to lift that tailbone to the ceiling. As you do that, you press the lower back into the ground. You feel those lower abdominals working. Then we relax, which means we just let go of that air, let the back relax. So one more time, take a deep breath. As you exhale, press that lower back into the floor. Think of lifting your hips gently to the ceiling. or your tailbone being pulled up. Good, and relax. And we're gonna windshield wipe one more time in either this or the first position. So deep breath, exhale, let the legs roll to one side, shoulders stay down. So as your legs come over, not only are you stretching that lower back, you're actually getting the obliques of the top side. So the obliques are the outside part of your abdominals. So I want you to think about that when we take our breath and exhale. So inhale, exhale, tighten those obliques, tighten your abs, and pull those legs back to the center. So those legs come back to the center. We reset your lower back, pressing it into the floor, lifting that tailbone. And then inhale, exhale to the other side. Shoulders stay down. Trying to get some awareness. Those obliques are right at the bottom of the chest. So for the ladies, it's right below your bra line. And then as we inhale, we exhale, tightening the obliques and the abs, rotating those legs back to the center. And then we're going to take our legs and straighten them. Sometimes easier said than done, but you're going to take your hands, now you're going to put your hands on the floor by your side. And with those legs straight, and yes, the block is still in between them, you're going to gently press your hands into the floor so that your tailbone comes up a little bit. You're actually using your hands to brace a little bit on the ground as we lift the tailbone a little higher to activate those lower abdominals, which you should feel those. And then bring the knees in, let it relax a moment. Because next time we do it, I'm going to ask if you're feeling it in those lower abdominals, which are the area below the belly button. So not necessarily underneath like the spine, but below. So shoulders down, hands ready to press, legs are going to go straight. Push those hands a little to the ground, lift your hips a little bit to the ceiling, pull your belly button into the floor. Keep breathing, hopefully. And feel, do you feel those lower abdominals? Okay, good. You notice that this is not a leg swing, this is a hold and a press. Bring those knees down, go ahead and let your feet come all the way down to the floor. And we're going to remove that block. So doing leg swings does not work the lower abdominals. Doing that small little press of the pelvic tilt with the legs straight does. So now we're going to take your knees out to the side. Your heels are going to touch each other. We're kind of in a frog position. Apparently there's different types of frog positions in case you didn't know, but you probably did. So now with our heels touching each other, the knees are falling out to the side. We're feeling some stretch through the inner thigh. If you do not feel much of a stretch, you can actually take your hands and very gently push the inner thighs down to the floor. So you can actually put your hands on that middle inner thigh and very gently push it to the floor. Or you can just use your legs themselves and think of pressing the knees towards the floor, but gently and subtle. This is part of our focus for these 2 weeks is the inner thigh. Now with your heels together, go ahead and gently press them against each other. Press your heels in against each other and pushing through the heels. I want you to feel not only that inner thigh, but I want you to get some glute action in there. I want you to feel your butt cheeks a little bit. You might even feel your lower back release a little bit too. So as you take your next breath in, relax, and let's bring those knees back up to the top. When we bring them back up after stretching, we always push that lower back into the floor. Get that pelvic tilt, just stretch that lower back out. So now we're going to take, not our right leg, we're going to take our left leg, using our reverse psychology, and put the left ankle on the right knee. So we're going to get ready for our figure four. That means we're going to lift the leg off the floor and pull it in. So you can lace your fingers, you can take one hand through the leg, the other one around it, and they meet in the middle. You can try to use your straps if you want. A lot of times they end up awkward. But once we grab that leg, I want you to think about your upper body. Try to relax those shoulders, even if the leg backs off. Just relax those shoulders a second. So your hands are kind of like you're strapping it, they're just holding the leg there. It's your job to take your hips and move them back towards your body. So go ahead and do that. Hands are just holding the legs. The hips are going to curl in towards you, moving towards your body so that you increase that stretch in the outer thigh. So there's never a need to pull with the hands. Holding nicely with your breath. And then we're going to let those hands go and let that leg come back down. And your reward is crossing that knee all the way over that leg. And then letting both legs fall to one side. So the legs are completely crossed. Legs fall to one side. Shoulders both on the floor. You're almost turning your upper body one way to keep it flat as the other half of your body goes to one side. And as you take that breath in, start thinking of the abdominals, because as you exhale, tighten the abdominals and take those legs all the way to the other side for the windshield wiper. So nothing changed, we just flipped the coin. Nice deep breaths to help that release and relax and sink. And then we will go ahead and inhale, tighten those abdominals as we exhale and bring it up to the top. Then take that leg off, pull the knees into the chest, either from the shins or under the thighs. And then we can bring that down in time for the other leg. So put the right leg, right ankle onto the opposite knee. And yeah, we can let it sit there for a second and just get comfy. And then we'll take that leg off the floor, hand in between to hold and support that bottom leg. So now you know that you're not going to try to pull it back too hard with your hands. You're just going to hold it, let your upper body relax a little bit. Try to keep the shoulders down to the floor. And you might get a lot of stretch right now through the inner thigh and through the glutes. But we can inhale and exhale, pulling the hips towards you, almost like you're curling in a ball, but your hands are there kind of holding that leg in that position. So you're not pulling with the arms, you're just pulling back with the hips. And hopefully increasing that stretch in the hamstrings, inner thigh, and glutes, and breathing. Release those fingers, let that leg come down, cross it completely over. Arms out to the side, let those legs fall to whichever side you want to begin with. One is going to be a little more low back and glute, the other side is going to be more hip flexor, but we got to do them both. And then tightening up those abdominals, get that inhale. Exhale, squeeze the abs, bring those legs crossing past the center to the other side. They stay crossed just like they were, we just move direction. And depending on which way you went, it's either that outer thigh or it's that hip flexor of the bottom leg. So with each exhale, you're just letting it relax a little deeper into the ground. Those birds sound like they're part of the music, don't they? So as we get awareness of the abdominals, we're going to inhale, tighten up the abs, and bring those legs back to the top. We uncross and we pull those knees into your chest. If you want to bring your head up to your knees and stretch your whole spine, you can. And then we're going to bring it back down. And we are going to find your strap again. It's a Saturday, I'm assuming you want to be on your back. We're going to take the strap straight up overhead with your arms. Find the middle point, because that's probably the only time we can do that. Excuse me. So you're going to hold your arms straight up. So with your strap, your arms are going to be about shoulder width. Now we take a deep breath. As you exhale, press your lower back into the floor and then let your arms slowly drift back behind you to the floor. Now hopefully your arms touch the floor and they can stay straight. So you can reach your arms away. You can actually rest them on the floor and then reach them towards the wall behind you. Now holding onto that strap, very gently push your pinkies to the outside walls. So as you gently push those pinkies to the outside walls, I want you to feel some of the outer lats. That's right where your underarm is. So the outer part of the back. Then release that pressure of the pinkies, take a deep breath. As you exhale, press that lower back down further. Take your breath in again and bring those hands up to the top. Now we're going to keep the hands like this with the knees together, and we're going to inhale, and on the exhale the knees are going to go one way, the hands are going to go the opposite. So as you do that, you have one shoulder coming across your face. And you're using the straps just to hold both arms straight. So on your next inhale, we prepare the abdominals, then we tighten them and bring everything back to the center. Once we are there, we make sure we press the lower back into the ground and push the shoulders into the ground. So we have a good posture here as well. Take a deep breath, and as you exhale, knees one way, shoulders and arms the other. You do want to try to keep your head to the ceiling, so your body is somewhat straight, even though you have the arms going one way and the legs going the other. Try to keep both of your arms straight as you reach out to the side. Then inhale and tighten those abs as you exhale and bring everything back to the center. Then we're going to take that one side of the strap, the one that goes on the foot, and we're going to put it back on your foot. And what we're going to do here is take that deep breath, exhale, walk that foot back. See if it goes back to that position that you've gotten it to. If it doesn't, don't worry. Just make sure it's a comfortable hamstring stretch. Because now what we're going to do is we're going to allow that leg to relax. We're going to take the strap to the outside of that same leg, all right? So it's out of our way. Bend that knee. You're going to roll onto the side that does not have the strap. So as you roll onto the side that does not have the strap, the side that does have the strap is on top. So strap side is towards the ceiling, and then we can take that strap, kind of put it behind your butt, and we're going to use that to stretch the front of the leg. So you're going to gently pull that strap so that your heel goes towards your butt. Now, for some of you, it might actually be easier to hold the foot. So if you can grab and hold the foot and bring it in, great. But if it doesn't reach it, then the strap is nice and handy because it can help you pull that thigh up. So stretching the quadricep from the knee up to the hip. And it does not have to be intense, we just have to make sure we do it. Now the good news is that from this position, we can relax that leg. You can actually roll onto your stomach. Yes, we're gonna be rolling all over the place. So roll onto your stomach, and we can put the elbows on the floor and slowly work that leg back for another quadricep stretch, this time with the hips on the floor. And again, if you want to use your hand instead of the strap, that's fine. If the quadricep stretch is too easy or you don't feel anything, you can very slightly lift the knee off the floor, just very small. Too much is going to pull on your lower back, so just a little teeny lift if you need to. If you don't, then don't. Easier just to pull that heel inward. Alright, so go ahead and relax. Let that leg straighten. And depending on how well you like to roll onto your back, you can either roll onto the other side or just roll onto your back to switch legs. I'm rolling just right back onto my back, and I'm going to switch legs with that strap. Some people find it easier to roll onto the other side. But regardless of whichever way you do it, we're trying to get the strap on that other leg. Lucky you got a whole class where you didn't have to stand up, huh? That's a rarity. All right, so first, now we have that strap on the other leg. We'll pull it up for that hamstring stretch, see how it did. See if it stayed. If not, we probably have to do some more work on this on a regular basis. All right, so once we test it, then we know we're going onto our side with that strap behind you. We have 2 quadricep stretches, and we're almost done. I know, that was you guys saying, aww. Yeah. All right, so either using the strap or just grabbing that foot. The goal is, of course, to take the thigh and move it back just a little bit. Pulling it back too much, you're going to fall over. And even if it's just a gentle stretch from the knee to the hip, that's okay. We still need it. So we're going to straighten that leg, let that strap get long, roll onto your stomach. You know, things will change, you can adjust things as you move. It's just there to help. So walk that strap back, you can place your elbows on the ground, that way your head can be nice and neutral. And your legs should be together. If it's more comfortable for you to have them a little bit apart, that's fine. So we're gently pulling that heel back. If you need to feel more, you can just lift it very slightly off the floor. But always remember, hold to what's comfortable. All right, so as we let that relax, we're just going to let it fall to the side. And if the strap stays on your foot, great. If it doesn't, we don't need it. But we are going to take your hands to your chest, and you're going to push back onto your hands and knees. Don't worry if you're facing backwards. There is a solution. Just push back onto your hands and knees. Stretch that lower back. Think of your hands walking forward as your butt pushes back. come to neutral, you're gonna do the cat stretch. Press your belly button into your spine. Push your whole spine up to the ceiling. And then you're gonna relax and do it one more time. So press that belly button in to your spine. Press your spine into the ceiling. Really stretch it up through. Now, as we come back to neutral, if you're not facing the front, we're gonna do dog chasing tail. That is my signature yoga move. You can do dog chasing tail, which means turn your body around on your hands and knees. Oh yeah, see, you guys got it. Point the toes to the floor. Walk the hands back. We can take the feet wide as your mat. We're gonna lift your chest and look at the end of your mat. Pull your shoulders away from your ears. Take a breath. As you exhale, we stretch that lower back to one side. And then we can come back to the center. Pull the belly button in. Lift your chest. Don't go yet. Lift your chest. Look at the end of your mat. I can see with the peripherals. Okay. Inhale. Exhale to the other side. We got to set the body up perfectly. If we rush into the other side, we're not going to get as good of a back stretch. And then we can bring it back to the center and slowly roll it up. I know you're thinking, oh, where's my coffee? I want to get that. But yeah, we always got to go into our stretches with our right posture. Deep breath. Don't tell anybody you did a whole class on the ground with me. They won't believe you. Deep breath up. There you go. Well, good job. Thanks for coming out.
Thank you.